Hello, and
Hello.
welcome to episode 49 of,
Whoa, nearly 50 episodes.
of Crochet Moments. I'm Helen, and this is
Katherine.
And we are both crafters. I knit and crochet, and Katherine,
Knits.
she's a knitter. She has dabbled in crochet, but she finds knitting a lot easier.
Yeah.
So welcome to any new subscribers. It's good to see you here, and welcome back to any returning subscribers. It's always good to know that there are people who like to keep coming back to watch us. So it's been 2 weeks since our last confession, our yarn confession. It's been a busy couple of weeks, hasn't it, Katherine?
Uh-huh.
I've had this week off as annual leave, and we've been here, there and everywhere. Why don't you tell everybody what we've been up to this week?
Well, Monday, me, Mummy and the demonic child, as we know as Emily, went into town to have a look at the shops, and my tooth fell out that day.
Yes, we went to the museum as well that day, didn't we?
Yeah.
They have a 1980s, growing up in the 1980s exhibit.
And you were really happy.
It sent me so nostalgic. I was obviously born in the 80s. So my youngest part of my childhood, up until my 8th birthday, was in the 80s. And there were lots of things there that I remembered very well. So that was very good and nostalgic. And what else did we get up to this week?
We went to Worcester for 2 days.
Yes, so we popped to Worcester. My sisters still live there. I grew up there. And we went to a farm, didn't we?
Yep. And we got to see piglets be born.
It was very exciting. One of the gentlemen who was clearing out one of the pens for one of the animals did say that they had a sow that was due any day now. So
Actually, she was overdue.
She was overdue. So they were expecting babies to
by
appear.
at least 2 days.
Yes, they were expecting babies to appear very soon. And he said you might be lucky enough to see a piglet born. And we were in the middle of watching a goat milking demonstration, weren't we? And the lady suddenly announced...
Sorry, it's had to be cut short because the sow's just given birth to a piglet.
Yes! So we ran over to the barn where the sow was, and there was that new little piglet.
It was so cute.
We didn't see one being born then, because it seemed to be a bit of a wait between piglets. And so we kept popping back every 15-20 minutes, didn't we? And you saw piglet number 7 being born, didn't you?
Yes.
7 of... she finished off with 18. She did birth 20, although 2 sadly didn't make it. But 18 piglets, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, and if that was me and Emily... way too much.
Thankfully, sows don't have to look after their babies for as long as humans. If they did, I'm fairly sure they would limit how many they had at one go, as if they could.
Yep.
So, yes, it's been very busy, and we've got some crafting done, haven't we? You've got a couple of finished objects. I've got one finished object. I've also got a half finished object. And I've been naughty. I cast on 2 new things. I wasn't going to cast anything on until I'd finished something, but I couldn't help myself. I really wanted to take...
You had cast on itis.
Yes, well, yeah. I'll get into that when I'm talking about my finished objects. So before we get into our projects, I do want to remind everyone that my blanket along is still going. It finishes at the end of this month. And so any crochet or knit blanket can be entered into this. You just need to share your photos on Instagram using the hashtag Crochet Moments MKAL, and that will be floating somewhere and down there, I think, today.
Yeah, down there.
Down there. And so it's just hashtag Crochet Moments MKAL 2022, and yes, so we'll do that. So there is a prize. I will be drawing one winner out of the progress that we have, and here is the prize. This is the yarn pack for the Faith MKAL, which is a free Stylecraft crochet along.
So much yarn.
Yes, I know, so much yarn. So I'm just going to get... So here's my Faith MKAL. I'm doing mine in the cotton yarn pack, but I will be... it's the acrylic pack that I'm sending out. I haven't worked on this since you last showed it, but I just thought you'd need a reminder. So this is the colourway that we've gone for. I will be working on this later today or in the weekend. So that's what it looks like. So do please keep sharing your pictures. It's amazing seeing your progress. I think we've had one finished object. I need to double check the hashtag. I have to confess, I've been so busy this week, I haven't had much time to look. But yes, so do please take a look at that. There's still time to enter. If you don't use Instagram or don't feel comfortable using Instagram, then please just send me an email. All my contact details are below, and I will include you in the list for the draw. So, I'm out of breath now. I'm going to shift over a little bit because Katherine, you're going to start by talking about your first finished object.
Yep, my first finished object. The bag.
Hold it up closer.
Yeah.
So you're going to talk about your project.
I don't know what to say about it, other than it's beautiful.
Okay, so the pattern was in one of my old knitting magazines.
Yes.
We've put the magazine away now, so I can't remember which issue it is.
Yep.
All of the information of the patterns that we talk about and yarns we talk about are down below in the description box. So, yes, so you want to tell us about it? What yarn did you use?
I used yarn. I can't remember what kind of yarn. All I know is that I used yarn.
Okay, do you remember who sent us the yarn?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was Melissa.
Yes, so this is from a box of yarn that Melissa sent. She has a YouTube channel, Melissa's Knit and Crochet Spot. She sent it to me along with some candy for the girls, and Katherine fell in love with the colour of this yarn and decided to
make a bag out of it.
Which
I did.
This is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, I believe. We've misplaced the yarn tag. It's a 100% acrylic yarn, and other than the sewing up and the crocheted loop around there,
I did it all.
She did all of the knitting for that. So I'm very proud of you, sweetheart. Mm-hmm. Okay, she got finish-itis towards the end. That's what I call it, when you're really close to the end of a project and you just can't put it down. So that's what I call it.
And castonitis, when you really want to cast something on.
Yeah.
I think it's the after cause of finish-itis.
Yes, so one of the side effects of having finish-itis is getting cast-on-itis. Even though you have a pile of projects that need working on, you just use to start something new instead. Never mind. Anyway, onto my finished object before we get onto your second finished object. So I'm wearing mine, and it will be coming off very soon because I am roasting hot in this. So here it is. It's just... Oh, there's it's a cardigan. And it's good to take off. So this has been my...
You are quite warm.
I'm roasting hot now. This has been my 30 minutes of knitting in the morning. So the alarm will go off at 6. Simon will go and have his shower, and while Simon is in the shower I will get my knitting out and knit until he's out of the shower before I go have my shower. And I loved making this. Obviously this week on the mornings when I haven't had to be out early, I've had a little extra time working on it. So about an hour to an hour and a half each morning this week has gone into this. I didn't have a huge amount to do. I just had a sleeve and the collar and the sewing together to do. But I did all of the sewing together in front of the TV on Wednesday night. So we didn't have great weather on Wednesday, did we?
No.
So we did spend most of the day at home. And one thing that I'm very impressed with, see, you can't see the join, or you can, but very, very barely. So there is a seam there. This is the best sewing up job that I've ever done. It's just... I'm very impressed with this. So the pattern, oh, where's my, oh, there it is a MKAL 4299. There are 2 patterns on this leaflet. So there's this lovely jacket, which is what I've made, or you can do it as a short sleeve top.
It's a jacket? I thought it was a cardigan.
Jacket, cardigan, I think is interchangeable, although in the pattern they do describe it as a jacket. It's lovely. It's made in chunky yarn. The yarn it suggests in here, which is the MKAL Verona, is no longer made. So I basically had to find an alternative, and I fell in love. Do excuse if you hear noise. Emily is around, coming in and out of the back garden. I fell in love with this. So I bought this yarn and the pattern from a knitting shop in Bakewell on a day trip Simon and I took to celebrate our wedding anniversary. We went on a hike because what else do you do if you're celebrating a wedding anniversary? You go hiking. You don't want to do romantic things like candlelit dinners and lovely things like that, gentle things. We went hiking, and after the hike we had a lovely lunch and a walk around Bakewell.
Yeah.
And I bought some yarn. So this is the Starcraft Life Chunky. This is in duck egg net, but it's got all these lovely like tweedy bits in, which look amazing. I mean, I just love the colour. That's how it knits up. And yeah, so I overestimated how many balls to buy, and I've ended up with 1 full ball left. I was praying that I wouldn't have to break into this ball. I'm maybe going to make a nice hat, or well, probably a hat, either crocheted or knit. I haven't decided yet, but I do love this yarn. And I love this pattern, and I may be passing this pattern on to Katherine, because I know you like this top, don't you?
Yeah.
So she may want to make it for herself. So that's my finished object. Okay, Katherine, on to your next finished object.
Hey, so I've been working on something for Emily.
Yes,
I'm making a Christmas present, and I thought Barbie dresses.
Yes, so Emily likes playing with Barbie, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just find the pattern. I know you didn't really follow a pattern, did you?
Yeah, I did my own edits.
Yes, so we've got...
But you got to say it looks really good.
So my mum and myself, actually, I had some of these are mine, had these old, I don't know if they're 80s or 90s sort of dolls knitting patterns. So some of them are just baby dolls, and some of them have got Barbie patterns in as well. And it's really hard to find decent Barbie patterns for knitting, isn't it? We have had a look. So Katherine took her inspiration from this page here. Let's fold over the instructions. Ooh, patterns on the floor. So it's this dress here, this tube dress, and you've made a few alterations, haven't you, sweetheart?
Yes. Let's get a bit closer so I can talk about it. Oops. Yeah, so for this part, I've been doing rib. Then here I tried doing, because this way it's going that way, and I wanted it to go this way, but I couldn't get that to work, and it just looks like it's going up, and then it goes into stocking stitch. Because they just look pretty nice.
Yes. So Katherine thought a plain stocking stitch dress would be a bit boring. She wanted to have a play around with textures, and so I said, well, why don't you have a go at a rib? And she thought that's a bit boring. So she ended up having a go at doing, I think it's a broken rib, and if you can see, it's barely noticeable, but it does go in a diagonal sort of pattern. And then she wanted to try and reverse it, which into sort of like a zigzag pattern, but that didn't quite work out. But I do have a Learn to Knit block by block, which has lots of different sort of textures that you can look at, and you could make more of these styles of dresses just with different textures. And that's a good way just to practice stitches. Again, I seamed it up for her because you're still not quite confident for the sewing side of things.
Don't know when it will be.
So her tension is a little loose, so we did go down a needle size to what was recommended in the pattern, just because we wanted to make sure that Barbie was decent. So that's your 2 finished objects.
Yep.
So I have a half finished object.
Sock!
I finished
My sock!
Katherine's first rainbow sock. A little bit of a boo-boo on the cast off. I think I should have researched stretchy cast offs. I just cast off in rib, which, well, you can just about get it on your foot, can't you? But it's a little bit of work. So there is some, is it Judy's stretchy bind off? Something, there's a stretchy bind off. I'm going to look into it and apply that to the second sock, which I haven't cast on yet because I just haven't had time to get it cast on, which is one of the reasons why I did cast one of my projects on that I've cast on this week. So this is the Trusty Toe Up Sock, and I can't remember the name of the designer. I will flash her name somewhere on the screen.
It could be over there. It could be over there. It could be down here. Or it could be over there.
This is West Yorkshire Spinners in the Rum Paradise. This is a 20-gram mini that I got as part of my Dinah's Home of Crafts mini subscription, which I no longer get because I spend all my monthly yarn money with Attic Spin Dye. Never mind. Anyway, so that's that one. Okay, so do you want to show off your whip, or shall I show off another whip?
You show off another whip.
Okay, so while I have my sock blocker, I'm so prepared today. Not. So we're actually filming on a Saturday morning. Usually I'd film on a Friday evening, but I got back from Worcester yesterday and I was exhausted. So, okay, let's pop this on here. So this is the
DNA sock.
The sock that Katherine calls a DNA sock. But it's not.
Because it looks like DNA.
But it's not. It's not. So this is my first attempt at a lace sock. It is... Oh, the magazine with the pattern in is over there. So this is the... I think it's Ripples and Pools.
Look, DNA.
So there's the pattern. It's really beautiful. So as you can see, I've done the heel. I'm now on the gusset. I'm reducing down to ready for the leg, for the foot. So next time this comes up in my rotation, this sock will be finished and the other one will be cast on most likely. This pattern works up so quickly. There were 30 something rows to the repeat, but it's just so lovely, and the yarn is amazing. So the yarn is Rosie's Moments. It's her giftable. This is in the lavender blue colour. I'm not sure if things are looking a little bit dark. Things aren't showing quite as brightly than they normally do
Do you
on
want
the
me to
screen.
make these lights brighter?
No, it's okay. Maybe once when I'm editing, things will look a little bit better. So so I am using the giftable, and I think I've got most of the gifts out now. I have been a little bit naughty.
Been digging about this one.
Yeah, I've been digging around and getting a lot of the bits and pieces out. My little bag has been put away with all the little bits that have come out of it, so I will get that out at some point to show
at the
you.
door.
Yes, I know. Okay, so your whip now.
Hey. So I am currently making another dress for dolls. It's called Let's Rock That Doll Dress. This is the progress so far.
Oh, that's too close.
There's yarn going across the front. Let's get that behind. There we go. Yes, this is the Let's Rock That Doll Dress.
Yeah, so this is a free pattern we found online that we managed to find on
It's
Ravelry.
been jotted down in this notebook.
Yes, I bought her
These
a
very
notebook.
cute doggies.
She loves notebooks and she loves doggies. Do you still have the yarn band in your bag for this so we can talk about the yarn?
I think I do.
Okay, no, it seems to not be here. So,
But I think it was a Rowan roll.
yeah, so this is a Rowan. It is a yarn I've had in my stash for a little while. If you remember, I bought the Deramores mystery bag a while back. I did an unboxing video for that. Unfortunately, Deramores are no more, so I would love to find some more
You know what's
mystery
weird?
bags.
Is that Deramores has more in their name.
They do, yes. So this is a Rowan. I believe it's a merino blend, but I can't remember the exact blend.
And Deramores is no more because you said.
Yes. So it's a 50-gram ball, which is plenty for a Barbie dress.
Yep.
This is a slightly longer dress, and it's sort of it's a flared skirt and a fitted bodice, isn't it? And you are using, I can't remember what size these are. I can't remember what size. Oh, there you are, 3.25 millimetre needles.
3.25.
So,
Good thing to have the pattern.
So one thing with Katherine, if you're wondering why she's using circular needles but not knitting in round, is because the handles are shorter. She struggles with the longer needles, don't you, sweetheart?
Yeah.
So the circular needles work well for Katherine because she's not fighting with length with her smaller hands. So
Diddy hands.
So that's your whip. There's going to be another whip soon, possibly, depending on how you go with knitting when Emily's around, because that's her Christmas present. Emily doesn't know that is coming.
Unless she's looking through the door, which she isn't.
No, she's not.
And if she is looking at this video when she's being edited, Emily, go away. This is not for you. Wink, wink.
So, so she does want to make some Christmas presents for some family members, and your incoming when we get to it is linked to that, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, on to my whips. What am I working on? So, I haven't worked on lots of things. Like I said, finish-itis on the cardigan took me off my usual rotation. So I keep a diary, and in my diary I work out the next 4 weeks worth of words. I've lost my words. The next 4 weeks worth of projects and how long I'm going to work on them. Because I have so many whips and I want to work on them all, I use a decision wheel. I have a decision wheel app on my phone. I've loaded a knitting wheel with all my knitting projects and a crochet wheel with all my crochet projects, and I spin that, and I also have one for the days of the week, so 1 to 7. And then that will so this is an example from the week of my last podcast. So I just would write down what I was working on that day, and in here I also have a list of my finished objects, so I can keep a track. I've done 17 finished objects so far this year. I would love to get to at least 20. That should be achievable. She says.
Should be.
So I write it all down on my diary. That helps me keep a track for when I come to sitting down and filming, to know what projects I'm pulling out. Although, because this has been 30 minutes of knitting, it's not in here because I'm working on it every day, Monday to Friday, and that's why you haven't seen it in the last 2 videos, because I kept forgetting to bring it down. So yes, so let's start with my Metamorphosis. Oh, we went all blurry then. So this is living in my Emma ball bag, which I love. I love this bag. I'm going to be getting more of these bags. I'm planning on going back to Bakewell. So if I can't remember which stall holder I bought this off. It might have been Rosy Moments. If it was, I'm buying another giftable. I might even buy 2 and have one in a giveaway. We'll have to wait and see on that one. We'll have to see if she's exhibiting. So Metamorphosis Wrap is in the Yarn Bookazine Macro Botanica. This is number 11, book 11.
That's my age 11.
It is.
But not for long. I'll be 12 in October.
So here is a picture of the wrap. It's designed by Lynn Rowe. It's a crochet project. And am I connected? Yes, I am connected. So I have connected, excuse me, the first wing. And I am crocheting the extension panel ready for making the second wing. So this is a wrap with armholes, so it will go through there like that. It will sit, oh gosh, like that. The other one will go over, and then there are varying ways of you wearing it, so I can't wait to see how it carries on.
It's not, but of course you've got to get it finished.
Yes, so the problem with this now is the wing. It's this endless V-stitch, and it's endless V-stitch with lace weight yarn, and it's very...
And staining you purple.
Yes, in the heat, the dye from the yarn was transferring to my fingers. So I've...
And your nails.
Yes. I have this much left of my first skein. So I will be needing to cake up the second skein, although I don't know how much of it I will need to use. Will you stop doing the bunny ears?
I wasn't doing it.
You were, I could see you.
I was not.
So I'm using Hey J yarn. This is in the blackcurrant colour. and it's gorgeous. It is a merino silk 50-50. 50-50 split makeup, and there's 800 meters to a 100 gram skein. So I'm doing very, very well with this project. It's coming along until the next time it works up into my project, and my daughter will have to stop knitting soon because I will chop some fingers off. Okay, more whips. I have been working on this, so let's get this one out. I'll be working on this later. So this is my Expression Fibre Arts make-alongs, the mystery make-alongs. She's got a knit one and a crochet one. I in my wisdom decided to do both because I've never done a knit along like this before, and well, we all know I like a crochet along. So part 7, I am getting there with this. I've still got about 19 rows to go on part 7. Which way is it? I think it's that way. I think that's the right side. So part 7 is just a continuation of part 6 because we are halfway and we'll start reversing the patterns. So I'm going to assume that part 8 will
This is a weird point of view.
Part 8 will be a repeat of this lace.
All I can see is your elbow and your face. Ugh.
So
Dizzy now.
it's getting there. Like I said, I've got sort of these edges. So this is the top edge. Oh gosh, and it will go down in length. I'm possibly going to start turning a corner down here soon. I look forward to doing that. And start getting the rows a little shorter, because I think that's what's taking me the time now. It's because the rows are so long, I'm starting to get a little bit bored. So I'll do a couple of rows, I'll put it down and maybe play on my phone a little bit, and then I'll pick it up, do another row or two, and then I get bored. So I'm just going to keep going until I've run out of this colour, and then I'll move on to the next colour. Don't think I'm going to be starting any more colours for this. I'm just going to work with the balls of yarn that I've got
on the go
for that one. So there's no progress on that yet, so I won't show you that one.
Driving in a car on the go.
So my other progress I've got to show is my crochet along for my Crochet Now. So this is Crochet Now magazine. I currently subscribe, but I won't be continuing to subscribe. I'll explain it later. So part 3 is designed by Toni Lipsey of TL Yarn Crafts, and I do love Toni's designs. I'm about 2 rows away from finishing this part. So we've got the basket weave stitch and the alpine stitch. So 2 squares of each of these. Working through the colours. So I've done both of my alpine stitches, and this is
basket stitch.
My last basket stitch one, which is a bit dark for you to see. There you go. Let's angle it so the light shines off the ridges. I like basket weave stitch. I love the look of it. I just find it a little bit tedious to work on. So I am glad that I'm done with it in about 20 minutes time. When I finished filming and 20 minutes of crochet, this part will be done. Yarn I'm using is just stash yarn. I shopped my stash. I'm getting to the point now that the next crochet along I do, I won't be able to shop my stash completely. I will have to start buying some more because my colours that I have are dwindling. Obviously Catherine shops my stash quite regularly too, don't you? So, so most of this yarn is the So Crafty Aldi DK. Now they haven't had this in stock for a little while. I would normally buy several packs, like a pack of each of the colours that I like, but they haven't really had any in. So I'm hoping that they do at some point, otherwise I'm just going to have to buy per project, which is what I think Simon wants me to do. So other projects are just my 2 new cast-ons, and then we're going to incoming.
Yep.
So, although my second cast-on is kind of linked to your incoming.
Yeah.
Living in my Amelia Joy bag. Now, the project that was living in this bag was that beautiful...
Non-stop yawning.
Oh, I know. A beautiful lace top that I had been knitting for Catherine, which when we got it to try on, it's just at the back was really baggy. It fit lovely at the front, way too baggy at the back. I never decided what to do with that, so I've decided to frog it and use the yarn for something else. So in the meantime, living in this lovely bag of cats, quite fittingly, is going to be my Slouchy Cat Hat. Well, your Slouchy Cat Hat.
Yeah.
And Emily's Slouchy Cat Hat. So, a couple of months ago, I got this yarn as part of my Alice in Wonderland subscription.
It's the Cheshire Cat colour.
Yes. So, I subscribe to Andy of Attic Spin Dye's yarn subscriptions. He's the bird one is coming to an end, and he's teased that the next one he starts might be a Beatrix Potter. Ooh, very excited about that.
Me,
so
not so much.
It's just take my money, Andy. Just here's my money. Give me the yarn. Yeah, so this is the Cheshire Cat, and the minute Catherine caught sight of this when we got it out of the packet was, that's mine. You have to make something for me with that. And I was like, oh, what can I make? What can I make? And somebody suggested, I think it might have been Angela actually, Andy's wife. Somebody suggested a cat hat. So I got on Ravelry and I looked for cat hats.
As you'd do.
Yes. Now, let's find it. I'm full up with blooming... Where is it? Slouchy Cat Hat. There it is. So I found this. How cute is that? It's very, very cute. So it is a Slouchy Cat Hat by Samantha West. It's a free pattern, I believe. I think it was a free pattern. And I thought I'm going to start that while I'm in Worcester, so I did, and this is the colour I'm going to use for the cats.
Yeah.
This is, remind myself, so that's Andy's label, so it's a peach sorbet sprinkles, this one, and I bought this from him at the Wool Monty. Beautiful yarn, and so it's all caked up. Emily helped cake it up. The idea is going to be, so Catherine's is going to have this as the main colour with this as a contrast. I'm going to try the hat on Emily. If it's not too big and I think I can play around with the sizing a little bit, then I'm going to make one for her, and this is going to be the main colour and this will be the contrast, and I might have enough left over out of the 2 balls to go into my Cozy Memories blanket, and I'm unravelling my cake of yarn, which is not a good idea because that will make a mess.
It will.
So here is my progress. Now I have bungled it a little bit. So the pattern has got a a brim that you knit and then you fold it and knit it into that. I'm not sure what happened, but I have ended up with a few wrinkles at the back. But here, oh, there goes my stitch marker. Here's the.
For you.
Obviously, second time around, I'll be a little bit better at doing that. Thank you. So yes, this is my stitch marker that I also got from Andy at the Woolmonty. It's from a little princess set. So it had a little Cinderella carriage and things like that. So I am about to start the colour work, Rose. I'm very nervous about that. Whoop. Pop that on the wrong needle. So I have bought myself, because
I see you, but you can't see me.
I couldn't quite work out.
You're busy talking to the camera. I know you're looking at me.
I couldn't quite work out where my 3.25 Zing interchangeable needles were. So we went to the Alpaca Farm Park in Snareston on Wednesday.
I got a highlighter. Multicolour.
Yes.
From Worcester Cathedral.
So I bought myself these Symphony 9-inch, not 9-inch, they're not 9-inch, 16-inch, 40 centimetres for knitting the hat. I can only pray that I haven't messed it up so much that it's not going to be wearable. Otherwise I'll have to frog it, and I don't want to frog it because that brim took forever to pick up the stitches on. So that's that cast on. What have I done with my bag? There it is.
I can't even remember where you put your bag.
I know. So that is going to be my 30 minutes of knitting project over the next couple of weeks, assuming I haven't completely messed it up. And my other cast on, where did I put it? Oh, down here. Is linked to incoming. So this is the last whip to be shown. So, sorry about that. Emily was at the door again. Incoming. So let's start with, first of all, showing you the incoming part of this. So
that's a rip.
This is the incoming. This is Christmas in July.
I helped spin it up.
Yes, so this is the skein of yarn I ordered to go along with my subscription. And he did email me and check, because it's the same colourway as the Christmas Eve box. So I have 2 skeins of this, and so I needed a 2 skein project. So would you like to get your pattern out, and we'll show you.
Yes.
We decided to have a little knit along together, although Katherine hasn't started hers yet.
No.
So hold the pattern up. So at the Alpaca Farm is a knitting shop. Well, a yarn shop with knitting and crochet things. And they had a sample of this knit up, and she really, really liked it. Now, the sample, the shawly yarn was knit in.
It has alpaca.
It's alpaca.
And we don't like alpaca.
Well, it's not that I don't. I love alpaca yarn, but
when we hold
it doesn't love
leaves
me.
a bit of a stingy, itchy feeling on our skin, like on our hands when we hold it.
So Katherine had a squish, because I was going to buy her some of the shawly yarn. She had a squish, and she had the same reaction to the alpaca as I do. So it would seem that I have shared that. I'm just trying to see what the makeup of it is from the pattern, but it doesn't say. But it comes in 4 beautiful colours. It's a beautiful yarn. I just can't knit with it. So
or crochet with it.
Yes. So we chose a different type of 4-ply for you, haven't we?
Yes.
I decided I was going to use this yarn. So let's show off your yarn.
Turn it. Oh yeah, here it is.
So you're going to tell everyone about your yarn.
So I got the Drifter 4-ply. Don't know what colour it's in. Cornflower. Thank you.
Okay, so do you want, I'll hold the yarn, you talk about it.
Okay, so this is by MKAL. It's 4-ply. It's 100 grams in a ball.
And the makeup?
It's 69% premium acrylic, 25% cotton, 6% wool. It's approximately 400 metres in length.
Yep, so we've got 2 balls.
Yes.
Because this works out at roughly the same amount of yarn for 100 grams as the shawly. I'm holding that one upside down.
Yeah, that's not very good.
And you decided to make this is going to be for Grandma, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've read the pattern, I've started the pattern, and it's one of those, it's an asymmetrical shawl and you can just knit until you run out of yarn.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have mattered if we didn't match the meterage for the shawly. She will get a decent sized shawl out of that. So I have started it.
I have not.
Because I wanted to just test the pattern a little bit for Katherine to see if there was anything she needed to be aware of while knitting. And to be honest, there isn't anything there that she isn't familiar with stitch wise. It's just about concentrating on the row of the pattern that you're on. And there it is. It's very multicoloured. I think it would show a lot better as it gets bigger. The colour repeats in this yarn are quite short, but I kind of like, because it's just stocking stitch with an eyelet strip, it will look fantastic in this yarn. It doesn't have, it's not, the busyness of the yarn isn't going to detract from the pattern as it gets bigger, is what I'm trying to say, very unsuccessfully. And eventually as it gets bigger also we might see some colour pooling happening, which would look really cool. So it's going, the border is knit into it as you go. So it's just about you adding in stitches and then you take the stitches away. I am doing mine on 3.75mm Nova Cubics. I've given Katherine my 4mm cubics to knit this on. And so that is the beginning, setup and 1 repeat there. It's a 12 row repeat, which I can imagine after a while would be easily memorised. So we might get that cast on today, because Katherine can only work on her Barbie dresses when Emily's not around, and so we have to wait till Emily's in bed for you to knit on that, don't we? So my incoming, let's start with my yarn that I got from the Alpaca shop. So as is usual, Emily likes to choose a pattern and some yarn while we're there.
As you do when you're at a place with a wool shop.
Yes, and Emily picked this hoodie. So it comes as a jacket or as a jumper. She wants the jacket version. Now I am going to use yarn from my stash for the ears and the horn and the mane. And I tried to talk her out of this shade of pink. I really did. Why is that in there? Why is there a mascara in that bag?
Me mascara.
She went for this shade of pink.
Bright.
It's a baby pink, but it's a bright baby pink.
It's blinding.
I tried to talk her into a softer pink or a cream.
But no, she insisted on the blinding pink.
So once the cat hats are done, this will become my 30 minutes of knitting. And hopefully Emily will be happy with the outcome on that.
Hope so.
Yes, so I've also had my yarn subscriptions come in, so I'll just fetch those. Dear me. So all crinkly, sorry, tissue paper. I picked the tissue paper up as well. Starting with my flowers subscription from Orchidine Luxury Yarns. I love this. I keep meaning to cancel it, but then a colour arrives and it's like, oh, it's so pretty, I want some more. So this is on the platinum sock base. This one's called In the Summertime, and it's beautiful. I just want to knit all the things in that yarn. It's so beautiful. It does come with a stitch marker, which has been put away, I think, as has my stitch marker for, actually, my stitch marker that came with Matic Spin Die may be in here. Avalanche of things. Oh, there's a stitch marker that came with my Christmas in July yarn. Little Santa. Oh, I think Emily's been at it.
She must have been.
Yes. Anyway, it was...
She always is at things.
It was a hat. Anyway.
She just doesn't learn how to not get involved.
Yes. So, the yarns that I got from Attic Spin Die. So, this is the bird of the month. Now, the last bird of the month is... Has it closed yet? Or is it still going? I'm not sure, but the last bird.
No idea.
I have no idea. I lose track. I just log on and log on to Etsy and give Andy my money. So I don't pay that much attention. All I know is that I'm guaranteed to get beautiful yarn. So this is the bird of the month. This is Nuthatch, which is absolutely stunning as usual.
It's beautiful.
It really is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I love that. Oh, excuse me. Oh. And this is the Alice in Wonderland. This is the chapter 7. So we've got the Mad Hatter, which is the green and brown one. I think that's green and brown. So that's the Mad Hatter. Oh, green, brown and purple. Ooh. I've lost track now. Yeah, so anyway, there's the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, the Dormouse, the Tea and the Glass Table. Now, the easiest one I think is the Glass Table, is the grey and gold one. These are 520 gram minis. I'm not quite sure what they're going to go into yet. I could possibly just add them to my minis selection and throw them into something. I am considering the zigzag throw. Or is it? It's not a throw, it's a wrap. I'm considering that one. Also the habitation throw is an idea I've seen for minis. Or if you have any suggestions for crochet patterns to use up minis, that would be good too. And in the package, the lovely Angela included some sock blockers. I was so excited when the package arrived. I was like, what's in there? Because that's not just yarn. And I had mentioned that I was looking for, when I went to Woolmonty, I had been looking for sock blockers to use for the smaller feet in my family and the larger feet in my family. And she popped these in and said, oh, these have been lying around for a little while. You're welcome to them. So Emily sized. So these ones are just about the right size for her now. And those will be in the next 6 to 12 months because she's growing like a weed at the moment.
Yeah, 6 months to a year.
She is growing like a weed.
What about me? Am I growing like a weed?
You've slowed down a little bit.
Babe.
You've slowed down a little bit.
I want to grow.
So they are. That was such a beautiful surprise, and I've already thanked Angela. But again, thank you. It's such a thoughtful gift. They will be used because my next pair of socks will be an Emily pair, because I'm going to try Afterthought heel. I'm going to try an Afterthought heel on a pair of socks. And I thought an Emily size sock, it's not so bad if I wreck that, because it's not days and days and hours of work. So that was a lovely surprise. And my last bit of incoming was in Worcester. We did some charity shop shopping, didn't we?
Yep.
I love charity shops. And I got these absolutely amazing pattern books. So this one is a little bit more recent. Not quite sure of the publishing dates on these. So it's really hard to find publishing dates in these books, which is heartbreaking because I'd love to know more about when they were released, the patterns. Anyway, this is Indie Knits 2, and they've got some beautiful patterns in, it's sort of mostly chunky yarn. And there's a few things in there that Katherine likes. I quite like that cardigan at the front with the tie front. But there's a lovely jumper I could make for Simon, a winter jumper. He'll need those because we're not putting the heating on so much. This one is quite nice. There's this really lovely poncho, just a short poncho. But yes, there's a few things in there that you like, aren't there, sweetheart?
Yeah.
You haven't had a look at the other ones so much. These are more 80s. So they're both beehive knitting books. So this one was £1 and these were 50p each. So £2. I've got lots of patterns to choose from. There's some absolutely stunning things in here that I think would work for now. So I love that sweater. Absolutely love that. This sweater's quite nice as well. Absolutely, I'm in love with that one. They all do look a little bit of work, but lots of texture. I mean, I love that. And I just can't find a publishing date for them. Katherine quite likes that one with the not that one. This one with the lipstick marks down the sleeve. Hello, Emily. What are you picking?
Pete, and this accidentally happened.
You pulled a pea out of the ground.
Yeah,
a pea plant. Please, Emily. You're trying to do a video here.
Oh, Mummy, it was an accident.
That's okay.
Just try and get it back in the ground.
We're nearly done.
But I tried to, but I'm just afraid that it would just fall out.
We shall tend to soon.
We're nearly
or
done.
Mummy will. I don't know.
I quite like that jumper for Simon. There's lots of beautiful things. Some fairly simple patterns. So I said to Katherine that might be a good way to introduce herself to lace.
Because I don't feel like I'm strong with lace.
Well, no, I don't feel like I'm terribly strong with lace. It's all about the practice.
Emily, please can you shut that door?
Okay, well, we're nearly done. We're nearly done. So this feels like it's dragged on a little bit, but I think we've finished talking. You haven't had any more incoming, have you?
Don't think so. No.
No incoming. More incoming for Katherine. I think I've shown all of my incoming.
You think?
I don't. Oh no, I haven't.
Oh yeah.
One more piece. One more piece. So, the girls I have asked me to crochet them a dress, the Abigail Fairy dress. It's a paid for pattern. I've bought the pattern, now I've bought the yarn. So now I just need to get it started. This is from a suggestion from one of my viewers. I can't remember which one of you suggested it, but thank you. These are yarn art cakes and they are very similar to the Sheepy's Whirls, but they're half the price of a Sheepy's Whirl. These set me back about, it was £9 each, whereas I think the Sheepy's are about £18-19, I think. I could be wrong, but so this is the colour that Emily chose. So I've had to get two cakes because the pattern says that for an Emily size dress, I'm looking about 1200 meters of yarn, and there's only 1000 meters in each cake. So that's that. And then Katherine chose this colour. Not actually sure what the names of the colours are. I can't remember the names of the colours, or even if they had names. That one, so this one's going from the pink to the grey. So it's just to decide now which way round I'm going to go. So I think the bodices of the dresses should be in the lighter colour and the skirt in the darker, but I'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So this feels like it's going to be a really long one, so if you survive this long, well done. And thank you for staying here for this long. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode. Now my next episode will be a little bit late going up because I would normally film 2 weeks time, but in 2 weeks time I will be at Brownie Camp, so it will actually be 3 weeks till my next episode because yes, brownies. My first Brownie Camp. I'm very excited. So yeah, so that's it for 3 weeks. So hopefully we'll have lots more finished objects for you to show. And we will see you again soon. I hope you all have a lovely couple of weeks of crafting, and as usual, if you've liked what you've seen, hit the like button. I love to see your comments. I do try and respond to them. Sometimes it can take me a few days, so I do apologise. And yeah, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks, won't we?
Yep, see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye.